Hi, my name's Kyle, and today I'm going to help you plan your Blue Ridge Parkway tour. Some of you may have seen my video of the Blue Ridge Parkway tour. If you haven't, it's right here. I highly suggest you check it out, and it's sort of a fun kind of compilation of everywhere we rode and the general experience of what it's like to ride the Blue Ridge Parkway. But if you're looking for a more detailed video on where to stay, what routes to take, all that kind of thing, this is the video for you. Now, this is the moment where I ask you to please like and subscribe if you think this is helpful. Please make sure to do that below. On with the planning. The Blue Ridge Parkway is a 469-mile national park that is a road that runs through North Carolina and Virginia. It's very scenic, awesome, and on many people's bucket lists for best rides. The first thing you need to decide when planning your tour is if you're going to be staying in hotels or you're going to be camping. This video in particular will be focused on staying in hotels. I would suggest taking the parkway north to south, and that means you should start in Charlottesville. Okay, here's the whole route. It's 10 days of riding from Charlottesville all the way to Cherokee, North Carolina. Day 0 starts in Charlottesville. It's 29 miles to get to Waynesboro. Waynesboro is where that parkway actually starts. This route is super simple. I don't really have much tips for you other than you should definitely catch lunch in Batesville. Batesville, almost exactly halfway. And if we take a look here, this is the post office, but it's also a market. And they have some pretty good food, great snacks, cool place to sit down and relax. If it's a hot day, they have a cool little patio right here. You can just sit down, relax, and have an ice cream. That's exactly what we did. As for where to stay in Waynesboro, you have a lot to pick from. You've got Best Western, you've got Wingate. There's several hotels that are close to the parkway, which is this route right here. So pick whatever looks good to you, whatever hotel points you already have, that kind of thing. We stayed at the Best Western and had Cracker Barrel. It was kind of nice. Day 1 is Waynesboro to Lexington, Virginia. It's a pretty big climb up to the parkway from Waynesboro. And this is where you're gonna get your real first taste of what it's like to leave the parkway and come back. And when you do this, you're gonna realize that it's worth your while to stay on the parkway if you can. Tips for this day, there's a vineyard about halfway through. We wound up skipping it because it was closed the day we rolled through. But there is a country store, and I gotta tell you, the climb in and out of this little valley was not worth it. This day, I would totally pack your own lunch if you can. Way better, because it's gonna be a long day. The last part of this route is in Lexington, Virginia, and there is a really cool kind of like a gravel dirt path that goes through some cow pastures, and that's kind of a fun place to get some good pictures and hang out with the cows. They're really nice. As for where to stay in Lexington, you also have several options. I would definitely recommend this Hampton Inn. It was very nice and at a good spot for food, things like that, and resupply. But as you can see, there are other B&B type places that you could stay. You should not have a problem finding a place to stay here. Day 2, Lexington to Peaks of the Otter. This is gonna be a rough day. It's 60 miles. The lunch stop is down here near Big Island. It's a gas station. It's not a bad detour off the parkway. You're not gonna find anything like luxurious here, but they have food. After that, oh man, this is probably the worst climb in the whole trip. Apple Orchard Mountain, one of the worst days on the parkway. This climb is like 20 miles, sustained 5 to 8% grade, and it's hard. It's very brutal. By the time you get to the top, you're gonna be tired. It's gonna take you a couple of hours, so definitely stock up on calories, sugar, whatever. Get yourself a Coke before you go, because you're gonna need it. Day 3 starts at Peaks of the Otter. And we should talk for a moment about Peaks of the Otter. It's one of the best places that you can stay. It's right on the parkway. It is extremely popular, as in you need to make your reservation months in advance if you want to have a shot at it. Good luck, but definitely start planning way in advance if you want to stay here. It's a cool spot. The restaurant's good. It's a great view. If you're going for a vacation, you're gonna love this place. Start at Peaks of the Otter, and you're gonna end up in Floyd, VA. 84 miles, big day, 8,000 feet of elevation gain. Oof, I know, it's tough. For lunch, you have several options as you go around Roanoke, because you will need to detour around Roanoke. As of 2023, a section of the parkway is out near Roanoke. I don't know when it's going to be fixed, but if you have to detour, it's going to be like a 15-mile detour. This section down here is the actual parkway, so you can see we went all the way around. And look at this big red mountain right here. That's tough. I mean, it was so bad I didn't even catch it on video. I should have, but it's a really mean climb. But you're gonna be pretty tired by the time you reach Floyd, VA. We stayed at the Hotel Floyd. It's a quirky kind of like local hotel. It's not like a big chain. There's plenty to do and see in Floyd. It's a quirky little hippie town. There's ice cream shops. There's like a pizza place that we ate at that was killer. You shouldn't have a problem finding a place to stay in Floyd. Okay, day 4. You're gonna head south. It's a nice ride, some big climbs, but you should definitely stop at this place called Meadows of Dan. This is a good place for a snack. We stopped here, and as you can see, there's some interesting stores with lots of, I don't know, souvenirs, things to choose from for food. I recommend stopping here. It's right on the parkway, no big climb in or out, so definitely load up on snacks. Lunch is going to be at a place called Fancy Gap. Again, pretty much right on the parkway. There's an antique store right here, but they also have a restaurant with a deli. Pretty good sandwiches, worth stopping at. You're going to cross the North Carolina border about mile 60, and then it's some more climbing, but it is very picturesque in this area. I liked it. I think we saw some deer. Sparta. Not much going on in this town, but where we stayed was the Allegheny Inn. There weren't a ton of options. Day 5, 67 miles from Sparta, North Carolina to Blowing Rock. It was tough finding food on this route on this day, so you might want to pack a lunch for this day. Where you're going to wind up though is a town called Blowing Rock, North Carolina. It's a very cool mountain tourist town. There are a ton of places to stay. A lot of them are Airbnbs, but there are some chain hotels like the Holiday Inn Express, but you should have no problem finding a place to stay in Blowing Rock. There is a very good bike shop called Roadie. So if you need to restock, you need to get new tires, new tubes, get your brakes checked, this is a good town to do it in. Day 6 we had planned as a rest day, but we didn't know what this route was going to be like. We didn't know if it was going to be extremely physically demanding, so we planned a rest day. Looking back, as we rode those first few days with like these monster climbs, like 85-mile days, we actually got very fit very quick. If I had to do it again, I would probably skip the rest day. But Blowing Rock is the best place on this route to make your rest day. Okay, day 7, you're gonna start in Blowing Rock, North Carolina and finish in Little Switzerland. The route for the day is only 43 miles. Not that bad. You don't really need to bring lunch if you're only going 45 miles. It's like a morning ride. So if you leave early in the morning and you pack up some snacks, you'll be fine. Okay, this section is where you're gonna see those amazing views of the viaduct. It's unreal, it's out of this world, so definitely bring a camera. Yeah, it's hard to describe how awesome it is. This road just sweeps over the edge of the mountainside. There's an incredible view. Definitely bring a camera. You'll want to take pictures of this place. Now, Little Switzerland is another one of these hotels that is right there on the parkway. It's definitely a cool place to stay. You're gonna need to make your reservation months in advance. Same kind of thing as Peaks of the Otter. Plan this one early. All right, day 8. This is the day you're gonna hit Mount Mitchell. Okay, you're gonna start in Little Switzerland and you're gonna wind up in Asheville, North Carolina. The Mount Mitchell climb occurs about halfway there. So if you include Mount Mitchell, you're gonna wind up doing about 70 miles that day. Don't worry about it, you should do it. If you've come this far, you got the legs for it. So what I would do, I would stock up on food here in town. And then when you get to the turnoff point, you'll see a sign right here that says Mount Mitchell State Park. In this area over here in the woods, take your bags off your bike if you're really worried about it and stash them behind a tree like we did. You're gonna go up this mountain, come right back down, retrieve your bags, and keep going for the day. At the top of Mount Mitchell, there is a small store where you can get coffee, hot chocolate, snacks, that kind of thing. You're not gonna have like a great lunch, so I would definitely bring something to eat with you. That's a good spot to do it. It's about halfway for the day. And then, man, you're gonna have so much fun. There's like a huge monster descent going down into Asheville. I would go back and ride this again just for the descent. It's crazy. And then there is a section you need to know about. Pay close attention to here because it's not like your typical route. It requires a little bit of bushwhacking. Just check this bit out from my last video. So we're here in Asheville. We just have to bushwhack a little bit on the MST. This is gonna save us a bunch of time. We saw on the heat map that a lot of people were taking this route between the parkway and this neighborhood over here. But this section of Asheville is right off the parkway. There's an REI there if you need to restock on supplies. I think Brandon got a new pair of bibs. I got some brake pads. There's tons of food, tons of hotels to stay in. It's a really good spot, and it's a good place to stay. Day 9 is Asheville to Pisgah. Now, this day is only gonna be like 18 miles, but it is a big climb. It's gonna take you a few hours. Pisgah is another one of these hotels like Peaks of the Otter or Little Switzerland. Reservations fill up very fast, so if you do want to stay here, you need to book way early. So you can either add this 20 miles to the day before, which is going to be rough because that's your Mount Mitchell day, or you can add your 20 miles to the next day. That's going to be another big day. I would say that if you did not take a rest day, you can kind of break it up and give yourself a rest day. Looking back, I am glad that we stayed there. It was a short day. Pisgah is a beautiful spot. Even if you don't stay here, you definitely need to pull over and check it out. Okay, day 10, it's the end of your trip. You're gonna start at Pisgah, or you're gonna start in Asheville like we discussed, and then you're gonna make your way to Cherokee, where the end of the Blue Ridge Parkway is awaiting you. I don't have a whole lot to say about this other than you should probably bring lunch. There are no places to stop for lunch really. There are some crazy fast descents dropping into Cherokee. It's a lot of fun. Go enjoy this day, you've earned it. It's a lot of fun. I've put a lot of things in the description and links below. Please check that stuff out. And a big major thanks to my friend Brandon who put most of this together and is allowing me to share his route plan with you. Thanks for watching. Bye.